Welcome back. I'm joined by Championship correspondent Pascal Lemaitre with the final game of the season for Derby and Reading. Pascal's not the home side, sitting in the playoffs at the moment, they're far from comfortable.
Yeah, they're not safe yet. They haven't got a top six place yet. I mean, their overall form recently, they're unbeaten in six, but four of those have been draws. It certainly hasn't been the sort of end of the season that Steve McLaren would have wanted. They had some struggles with injury, especially up front, Chris Martin and Darren Bent being out, but both of those players are back now. Bent missed the game the weekend at Millwall with 3-3 draw against Millwall through illness, but he's now back for this one. He'll be fit for the playoffs. Chris Martin as well, but yeah, 77 points. They've got Ipswich 1 point above them, 78, and then you've got Brentford and Wolves on 75. But Derby, they've got by far the best goal difference out of any of those four teams. So if they get a point in this game, they're going to finish in the top six. Even if Brentford and Wolves both win and finish level on points with them, they're going to have the best goal difference. So they only need a point here. They play a Reading side terribly out of form, but looking at the way they finished the season, it certainly hasn't been strong. But when you look at their squad and the players they've got there, I think both Middlesbrough and Norwich, that Middlesbrough and Norwich are going to be third and fourth. We don't know what order they're going to finish, but both of those would rather play Ipswich than Derby. I think Derby have got a very strong squad. They were in the playoffs last season, obviously in the playoff final, cruelly denied Premier League place by that late Zamora goal for QPR at Wembley last year. So I think Derby have got more experience, better players. I think they're going to be the side, even though they haven't finished the season very well, they're going to be the ones that Middlesbrough and Norwich will want to avoid. And if they win here, I think they probably will finish fifth, because I can't really see Ipswich going and winning at Blackburn. I think Ipswich might just get a draw there. They'll drop down to sixth again. So Derby can finish fifth. They'll probably get Norwich. And I think it's hard to say who Derby might prefer to play out of Norwich and Middlesbrough. Both strong sides. I think at this stage of the season, they'll probably just take either and say, look, let's just hope that our quality can prove to be the difference in the playoffs. But yeah, I mean, considering where they were, say, in sort of January time, really looking like a proper automatic promotion candidate, they've really dropped off. Been unlucky with some injuries up front, but yeah, to be sixth in the table, considering they're behind the likes of Ipswich, Norwich and Borough, I think it has been disappointing into the campaign, but if they can get into the playoffs and then get promoted, it'll be fine.
It's a massive game for Derby, and they'll probably fancy their chances against a Reading team who are really struggling at the moment.
Yeah, they're on a terrible end of the season. They really showed up in the FA Cup semi-final against Arsenal, put in a great performance there, took the holders, and one of the best teams in the land, 2 extra time, but in the league they've been terrible recently. No win in 9. 5 defeats in a row, as well. So, 4 defeats in a row, and then losing to Rotherham last time. Rotherham, that was a big game for them. Reading are safe. They're kind of lucky that there's Millwall, Wigan, Blackpool, and Rotherham have been worse than them this season, because they've been really bad considering where they were last season. They were sort of much better than this last season. The game against Rotherham had everything to play for there. They knew that if they win, they relegate Millwall and Wigan. And Reading, they kept with it for a little while, but then they conceded 2 fairly quick goals. Rotherham go 2-0 up, and that's game over. Really. Norwood did score late on. It was a decent hit from him from outside the box, but that goal was the first time in 7 Championship games that a Reading player had scored. They just struggled up front so badly. The goal they did score before that was an own goal against Blackpool, who are down at the bottom of the table. So that's hardly a good thing. Scoring 1 own goal against the league's worst team. So struggles up front, struggles everywhere really. They're 19th now in the table. Steve Clarke has got a big job on his hands this summer. It'll be interesting to see who he goes after. He's quite an experienced manager, got Premier League pedigree, but it's just gone very, very badly for them this season, considering that they were in the playoffs last season and fell out of it again. And it's just been a very, very underwhelming campaign on the whole for Reading, and so many different areas to work on this summer.
Big game for Derby. You backing them to pick up all 3 points here?
Yeah, I think you have to. Yeah, Reading, like I say, they are safe, even though they'll certainly want to finish on a high. Reading, but Derby, there's so much more for them to play for at home as well. So I think Derby will win 2-0.
Thoughts about for 2-0 Derby win?